E's, one forward, one backwards. That I do like
Yeah,
that.
that's cool.
I really do like that. That has
Okay, ready, set, go. Hello, everyone. Ta-da, ta-da. Hello, we are live
we got
and we are recording too. You
yes.
can find us on two channels, actually four channels, but the main one would be hucolo.org, and then another one is xg1.org. That's good for the beginning.
All right, and then I've also learned from Max. So Max, I also want to go into. If you are, now this one is a little, I have not typed it up yet, but if you are interested in being a part of our human colony, our community, to be part of, to subscribe to our
Newsletter
community, it's
and
uh,
invitations.
Hucolo.org is where you can go ahead and go in and be a part of our
Yeah, enter
community.
email. It's free. Just you get invitations to our webinars.
Right, that is
And
correct.
today I have with me Angie Speed, Christy, and Nadalee. And Nadalee is my co-performer, co-host of this conversation. And today's topic is and Jim Borg. Nice to see you. You can move your camera just a little up so we can see your full face. That's great. Nice hair. And we actually will be talking about you as well. But let Nadalee speak too. So Nadalee represents United Experiencers Initiative, UEI, and I represent HUCOLA and XG1 and DNA resonance. XG1 stands for Extraterrestrial Genetics Project 1. So, two main topics. Please don't push towards one or another. We need to cover both. They are both important. First is we finally provide genetic analysis for contactees, experiencers, abductees, hybrids, starseeds. And the second topic is really nobody speaks what happens after contact. And that's absolutely important and interesting. I think we have a say there. That's a unique topic. Like people say, disclosure is important. Catastrophe after disclosure is important. Contact is, but what happens after people just, there is like dreams, everything will be fine. We'll get free energy, free food, free everything, which is, to get to that point and we'll become members of the galaxy, members of Galactic Federation. But to get to this point, we need to really feel through, think through, imagine a positive scenario, because there is like tons of negative scenarios, but there is a positive one, and actually several positive ones. We need to uh, embody them. All right, I give the microphone to Nadalee. Nadalee, speak up.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Um, it's a great pleasure to be here to work with Max and all the others involved in this project. Now, the stuff we're going to be talking about today is strange for some, but for some of us, it's normal conversations that we have every day. Especially experiencers, people who have been taken on the ship. We have experienced so much stuff and we've been given a lot of information. And we've been also told that we are also part of a genetic program to help humanity. So, Max has classified hybrids in different category or different words, but I categorize them in
My
types.
categories are the same. The names are different, but the categories are
Yeah,
the same.
the thing is, we've come to the same conclusion based on the data, which is absolutely extraordinary. Um, but type ones are everyone on the planet except for 1%. So 99% of the population have been edited and DNA has been inserted into the human genome, but it's untraceable. It's like really mixed in. Type 2 hybrids are the people that we're specifically talking about today, the people who have been taken, the people who have been given more alien DNA, and it's taken 4 generations for us to accumulate that DNA into our genome. So this DNA is the kind that's more detectable because we'll be testing the mother and the father against the child to see which DNA does not exist in the parents. So, I can go further into why we are here as type 2 hybrids and how all that works. Would you like to hear that, Max and everyone?
I would say finish your numbering
Okay.
system, and then you can go
Yes.
into whatever.
So, we are type 2. We are 1% of the population, give or take. It's just a rough calculation. There are also type 3 hybrids, which are our children, abductees. Since the 1960s, 1970s, we've been coming forward and people are not listening to us. We have alien children, so to speak. They are a mixture of type 2 DNA like us mixed with ETs on board the craft. And there's many different type 3 hybrids, but most of them consist of really pale skin, thin hair, big eyes. They're not always black eyes. Sometimes they have colored irises and different things. But the point is, type 3 hybrids exist because there are 2 different outcomes that humanity can come across in the future, in the near future, I might say, is that humanity will destroy themselves and the type 3 hybrids will come down and take care of the planet. They will repopulate the planet. But that's if humanity destroys herself. The other scenario, which is the one that we're aiming for with the Galactic Federation, I am a representative of the Federation, so I'm telling you the information that I was given and everything. So the good timeline is they will live amongst you. Our children, type 3 hybrids, will live amongst you and bridge the gap between humanity and the rest of the galactic communities. And this will probably be somewhere around 10 to 15 years down the road, but we're going to ease you into it if we go down the good timeline. But those are the 3 classification of hybrids. So type 2 hybrids, going back to that, the particular ones in this conversation today, we have certain characteristics that have been noted between us. So we've been seeing the similarities and we've been taking notes and comparing notes. A lot of us are ADHD, highly functioning autistic, highly functioning. But just because you have those characteristics doesn't automatically make you a type 2 hybrid. Same thing with Rh negative blood. A lot of us do have Rh negative blood, but you can be a type 2 hybrid without having Rh negative blood. So because a lot of people get hung up on that. But anyway, so other characteristics are very sensitive to people's emotions, like having more psychic abilities from birth and almost dying at birth, like malfunctions with your body, immune deficiencies, stuff like that. I was actually born with no immune system, so I had to be isolated and everything, and I was actually given allergy shots growing up until I was like 6 or 7. I had to have 2 in each arm. So we're very sensitive to the environment and the planet. A lot of our DNA does not go along with Earth, so we have to go through some struggles to be able to be here. But the other big characteristics are being taken by ETs, encountering ETs a lot while on the crafts and all that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff there. And I know it's hard to chew for some people. Like, we live amongst you. And the thing is, some of us don't even know that we're type 2 hybrids. That's what the wild thing is about this, is that not all of us wake up to this fact. But it goes back 4 generations because they altered the DNA over 4 generations. So your whole family could be encountering these ETs, but it's where the 4th generation is, the last one, is where you have the most accumulated alien DNA to be able to do our job properly on this planet. So we can be able to speak to people more than just words to ears, heart to heart. It's telepathic communication, and it allows us to communicate with the ETs much better and to bridge the gap and to teach people what consciousness really is and how to communicate with extraterrestrials and all of this stuff. So we're here to bring a new wave of consciousness awakening, also while teaching about extraterrestrials, which goes hand in hand. But that's pretty much the gist of it. And we're also called starseeds because, these type 2 hybrid bodies were specifically developed for starseeds to be able to do their job. So it's kind of like everything just meets in the middle. It's a perfect orchestra of everything. So yeah, thank you. Can't hear you, Max.
Your cigarette. Thank you, Nadalee. Jim, your cigarette is. Show your cigarette. That's part of your story, right? So Jim was operated for lung cancer on the ship, and his other friend saw Jim being operated. So, but they didn't cure him from cigarette addiction.
Everything's meant to be for a reason.
Right. So the price is I I I I I'm oscillating between two ideas. One is like you buy the kits, you genotype yourself, and then you give me the data, analyze it for free. It sounds like very optimal. Like I don't even handle your money. You pay for that. And the prices today and tomorrow are very cheap. It's $30 plus shipping. Suppose the shipping is like $12. So for $42 per person at MyHeritage, you can get the kits. You get it on the, and yesterday one of the abductee families got it. So you go at xg1.org and there is all instructions there, like it's all instruction, and I analyze it for free. So we need 3 people, 2 parents, full family, and at least 1 adult child, and you sign the informed consent. So all parents and the child have to be adults signing the informed consent, and they agree that we'll be analyzing them for potential alien genomic modifications. And right now, I don't have a signature. I don't know what are the markers of different alien insertions. So the only thing I'm looking at is human genotypes, human markers. It's nearly 1 million markers, and starting from a month from now, it will be pretty much the whole genome. At MyHeritage, they switched to a new whole genome, like 3 billion nucleotides, 3 billion letters. So it will be way more informative. So I'm looking what is it not present in the parents, what is in the child not present in the parents, non-parental sequences. And right now we analyzed 571 general population families and 3 families of self-reported abductees. And in general population, I see 2% of non-parental insertions. And in abductees, I see about, it's a different method. I see about 30 insertions, and in one family, it's the 9 insertions are non-parental markers, non-parental variants, alleles. It's called alleles, variants. Non-parental alleles are sitting next to each other on chromosome 4 at the end of chromosome 4. So that suggests that it's not a technical artifact. That is possibly a real genetic trace of genetic manipulation. So obviously we need tons more, and the data which the public data which I analyzed so far is questionable. It's old, and there are potential artifacts. So it's not a proof, it's just an illustration that the method could work when we get good data. So we need to get good data. And the next idea is like super good. Let's do TV series, let's do YouTube interview series with combining 3 things. 3 things. One is genotypes, genetic analysis of the family. Second, interview with the Starseed, and the hypnotic regression of the Starseed. So that would be like conversion lines of evidence, and that would be super cool. And as soon as we get more samples of abductee families, we would be able to actually tell these families have the similar insertion. That would be already like next step of confirmation. And when we know that these insertions come from the Zetas, these come from Pleiadians, these come from Lyrans, from reptilians, Syrians,
Lyrans.
and Arcturians. And what did they say?
The Lyrans as well.
Yeah, we call them Lyrans, but you can
Or
call them
Lyrans,
Lyrans.
yeah.
It's like, there are 2 parties, Lyran and
Tomato,
Lyran.
tomato.
But these are the oldest humans in the galaxy. So lion-like humanoids in the galaxy. We are friends with lions. They're super cool. And they're tall too. I proposed a volleyball game where we play volleyball with lions, and because they're so much taller, we have elevated half of the volleyball court.
I
So
love
we're
that.
equal in
Yeah.
I would
Max,
play.
Max, what happens if your, for instance, both of your parents have deceased? How,
We don't have the tools yet. I
right?
don't. I wish I could, but I don't have the statistics yet to tell anything.
Okay.
I
I mean, that was
possibly,
just a
if
piece that I was wondering about because I'm,
yeah, I possibly could look for differences from classical consensus human genome, but that is possible. But it's just a bit too far out a little bit. But yes,
Yeah.
so there are two more analyses which we want to do, and one of the families self-funding the next step analysis, which is short read sequencing. It covers about 50% of the genome, non-repetitive part. So the genome is half and half.
right,
It's repetitive, non-repetitive, and repetitive is
right.
more expensive to sequence, but non-repetitive is $500 per person. So they're funding that, and then I will compare them to the conventional human genome, and then I will have to see what is the typical rate of deviations from the conventional. I don't have the numbers yet, so I would have to run, say, at least 20, but better 50 families of from public databases, like general population, and then this family, and see if there is any striking anomalies there. And that would be super interesting. So it's doable. It's doable to do not a family, but a person. But um, I didn't do that yet. So that would be next
Um,
step. And the
the,
full, go ahead.
I was going to say the other one piece would be what about me as a mother, as the mother and my child?
Yeah, because it may come from
It's
only the mother's
interesting to
side.
look at,
Right.
but uh, the level of confidence is much lower than and when you have two parents and there is any little bit extra, it's already a good evidence that there is something happening. There is genetic manipulation. If there is only one parent, um, I
It
guess if
leaves
it is a male parent and a male child, then we can look at the insertions at Y chromosome because mother doesn't have Y chromosome. So we can look only at
It's
Y, then
true.
it would be a fair
Good
proof.
idea.
But for female parent, I'm not there yet.
It does
We
leave
need,
doubt for the rest
like,
of the
say,
population.
what do you say?
It leaves doubt in people's mind if we don't check both mom and dad.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
It's
that's
not a
just how it
good
is.
evidence. It's mediocre evidence. So
Yeah.
once we get the statistic, like if I find that certain families share the same modification, and I find modification in a single person, that's already a good hint. But I don't have the shared, like, I know there's three families of abductees, and they share between siblings, they share modifications, but between the families, there is no overlap. Every modification is different. So I'm not there
Interesting.
yet.
All right, we're getting there.
And the final price tag, it's available now, is for $2,000 per person. You can get full genome sequencing, including repetitive regions, 99.5% of the genome, good quality. And again, if we'll compare three people, we can look at insertions which are missed by other methods. And my main guess is that most of the substitutions, most of the changes will be in the repetitive part of the genome. Not because the aliens are hiding something. I don't think they care. I don't think they hide. It's just I think the repetitive part is responsible for telepathy, psychic abilities, and other
Agreed.
starseed abilities. So I would be looking primarily in so-called allo repeats. It is a 300 base repeat, repeated million times per genome and covering 10% of our genome at a similar random pattern. But I think it is the most important sequence, which I think is corrupted in mainstream humans, in normal humans, old style hybrids, and which needs to be reharmonized, fixed to regain the telepathic abilities in starseeds.
Yep. And I want to add, all humans on the planet, whether you're a type 1 or type 2, all have the capability of being telepathic and honing in your abilities. It's all innate inside of you, but type 2 hybrids just have an advantage genetically to be able to play that instrument easier, so to speak.
Right. You are blocks from not being telepathic.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. It's nice that, that's the first time Nadalee and I actually discuss in more depth the subject, and so far our records are matching each other.
Yep. It's pretty
Yeah,
wild.
we did my main source is from Hucolo channeling community, and I will show that you can find us here. Hucolo channeling community, standing for human colony. And what impressed me was one of our frequently channeled person, and I had it channeled through 3 different channelers, so it's independent confirmation, is so-called president or king of planet Era, which is a Earth-like planet in Pleiades, star Taygeta. And they have a big population, and he is a Earth human, and there is a big population of humans which were taken from the planet from Roman times 2000 years ago as slaves. Now they are free, so they became a big population on that planet. So there are Pleiadians, like Pleiadian race and human race, coexisting on that planet, living together, and all of them are telepathic. So, and there are other tons of evidence that when some of the abductees, contactees, hybrids are taken Earth, recent Earth hybrids were taken to the ships, they become telepathic. When they're visited by the aliens, they can talk telepathically. Jim, did you have Jim Borg? Did you have telepathic communications?
I've had in my lifetime I've had not too much with human beings or Homo sapiens, but I have so I moved to the northern Ontario. It's very similar to Russia. So right now it's -6, to put it in perspective.
Celsius.
So I moved Celsius, yes. So I moved up north to get away from the city. Like I've been saying a long time ago, Max, I said I want to go to the Sudbury area. Well, I'm here. So I got a place in the forest. I got a dirt road in front of me, rural, not too far from the main city, which is a small city of 160,000 roughly. So I'm about a half-hour drive from that. But where I live is rural. So at nighttime, we have all the animals here, right? You name it, we have it, except for rattlesnakes, thank God. But we have everything else, right? So when I go outside, I communicate a lot with the animals, the birds, and all animals, right? They come to visit me. I see them. I'm doing my work. Like a big thing in my work when I go outside is firewood, right? Because I heat my home with firewood. So it's a lot of chores, right? So when I'm doing my firewood, I got the ravens come in, I got the crows come in, I got the eagles fly by, I got the other birds fly in, blue jays, you name it. Ducks, geese, grouse, partridge play 20 feet away from me all the time. Rabbits come in, squirrels, chipmunks, rabbits, you name it. At nighttime, the shift changes. The shift goes usually around sundown and sun up. It's a shift. It's a frequency shift. And other animals come in, the nighttime animals, right? Those are more of the predator type animals, right?
So you telepathically talk to them?
I noticed them. They noticed me. I had a bear one time. I have forests, so I was in an area of forest where it's kind of dense, and heard a little noise. I guess the bear was kind of sleeping, and then I woke up. And then when I woke up, I was like, "Oh, geez," I was separated with a bush, right? So about 8 feet away from me is this big black bear, right? And I woke up and I looked at it, I didn't say nothing. And I said to him, oh, you mean you no harm? I said, sorry I woke you up. I said, I'll go back and I'll leave you be, and everything's good, right? In my mind, like, because I'm not talking out loud. I'm kind of like, well, telepathically talking to him. And no problem. He looked at me. I waved. He went like that with his head. And he went on his way. I went on my way. Everything was good. However, I do have lots of telepathic communications. You never hear the saying when you have small kids, so he's talking to an invisible friend.
Yeah.
Well, my invisible friends never left me. They're always around me. And they actually guide me. So what I mean by that is sometimes, every day in the course of your life, things happen. I'm going to go to the store. And then the voice says, well, don't go to the store today. Relax. Go tomorrow, right? The next thing I know, I hear a neighbor says, hey, did you hear about the car accident? I go, no. What happened? He goes, yeah. He goes, about an hour ago, big car accident on the highway. I said, oh, okay, right? But I don't have a lifestyle like most people in this world. I kind of live rural. I go out when I need to. I am a recluse. But if I would have went to the store, I would have been caught in that car accident.
Right.
And I probably would have been detained for like 2 hours out of my time, and stuff like that. So they communicate for the benefit.
Yes.
When I listen, it actually works out in my favor, right?
Yes.
And now you could call it gut instinct. Okay, gut instinct and telepathy, they go hand in hand.
Oh,
right?
yes.
So, but I don't kind of broadcast that to anybody because like I said, I live in rural Ontario. So put it into perspective, how many spiritual people do we have in this area? Not too many. Okay, not too many. So I'm one of the few. I'm like a minority now, right? I'm maybe 0.5, 0.50% of the population.
Did you hear the telepathy tapes?
No.
Yeah, so the telepathy tapes is a huge event. It started airing in September last year. So we are in a new era. Basically, the telepaths were discovered on these planets, and these are non-speaking, non-verbal, autistic children and adults. And many of them are telepaths. And they not only read minds of people around them, they talk at the distance, and they meet together at clubs, virtual clubs called the Hill. So we have a population of humans on the planet which are telepathic and connected in a telepathic network. And I estimate these are millions, maybe tens of millions. So I also estimate that these are also starseeds. Most likely, most of them are starseeds, but essentially some of the starseeds are made it into the mainstream, somehow were coerced or forced into complying into the mainstream ways of life and lost the telepathy and exchanged the telepathy for the speech. But those who don't speak, they are not integrated into the mainstream, and therefore they are not forced to do things on time, to be responsible for things, and to lie and to be deceptive, and they are not broken into their fragmented mind. So their higher self is pretty much present. So they're psychic, telepathic. They have, and it looks like the separation between them, like we are separated from our higher selves. There is like a barrier above, but they are mostly likely like their higher self with some sort of animal driving the body. So when they started actually typing on the keyboard, they are much more, they're very advanced. Most of them know Harry Potter, although they didn't read it. They just read the mind of their siblings who read Harry Potter, and that, therefore They shared the whole story, and
That's amazing.
they call us, how do you call us? Magids? I forgot the name. Magi. No, Magi and the other ones who are not magic.
Magus.
Magus and the other ones are,
Magi.
no, Magi are in Harry Potter are the magic people. And there are common people, common folks. Which
the mudbloods, something
all
like
right.
that.
I will Google next time I have
Yeah.
a chance. Anyway, I wanted to switch to the next topic. I think
if I might say
go
something
ahead.
first. James, I have similar experiences like you. I receive communication from them on a lot of the time, like on a daily basis. Sometimes they tell me not to do things sometimes or when to do things, and it works out in my favor to help, like they're looking out for us. So I have the exact same communication as you, James. I just wanted to put that out there. And I've been seeing UFOs for 17 years, and I've been in contact, or they've been in contact with me for 2 years. So I just wanted to put that out there, and like, yeah, that's amazing that we have similar stuff. That's awesome.
That's cool. Oh, by the way, Max, you were talking about autistic children. Before I moved up here about 10 years ago, I was in a swimming pool, public swimming pool, and there was a group of autistic kids also in the pool. I got there a little late, maybe 15 minutes late, and I just wanted to go have a quick swim. And when I went in the pool, the group of teachers, there's about 4 or 5 teachers in the pool with the kids, and I was probably the only other adult in there. And I'm just minding my own business, just floating around swimming. And one of the kids was always looking at me, right? I'm looking at him, I'm smiling, he's a kid. What do you want me to do? He's a kid. So he starts making a noise like a seal, right? And a seal noise, right? And I kind of looked at him and I kind of smiled, right? I know what a seal is because I spent time in Florida by the sea, right? So, and it's seals and dolphins have a kind of a similar sound when they make a sound. And this kid was doing that sound. And then the teacher goes, oh, because he was saying it right to me, right? Vocally. And I was laughing. I was kind of enjoying the sound, right? And the teacher comes up, oh, I apologize. These are autistic children. I go, no, you don't have to apologize. That's okay. I said, I actually like that sound. And she goes, she doesn't usually make that sound. And it's only when he's happy. And I said, do you know that sound? There's 2 animals in the world that make that sound. It's a seal and a dolphin. And she goes, no, I didn't realize. I go, yeah. I said, look it up. Go on YouTube and listen to crunching sounds of dolphins or seals. I said, that's the same sound. And the kid was splashing around like kind of agreeing with me, I guess, right? But they are highly autistic, Max. You're absolutely right.
So I also went, it's hard to find them, but I went to a local pool where the autistic kids are swimming. It's like special session for them. So there was maybe 40 of them. And I just sat there, meditated, and tried to connect telepathically to them. I didn't get any clear messages. And I don't think anybody tried to actually talk to me telepathically. But I think that's the easiest place to find them. And in the pool, they love water. And luckily, there was no loud music there, like no music, which was great. Yeah, Kai Dickens says that the best way to connect to them is to learn the art of teaching them spelling and actually help them spell, type on keyboard, and that's a trainable skill. I'm a bit too old to like go in that path, but that's open for others, so that's super cool. Now switching to the next topic: what happens after contact? So. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just getting excited. Chrissy has her hand up. I don't know if she.
Maybe we just. Oh, Christy?
I didn't know if that was on purpose or not.
Hello.
Yes.
I'd just like to throw something out to the audience, please, and I'd appreciate your feedback. I would have been part of the hybrid program on Earth for most of this incarnation. There's a lot of hybrid children involved, and but I've always asked the question: were most of my hybrid children from this incarnation or previous incarnations? That's the first question. Second question is, I always sort of had a plan when it came to my way of channeling. And I struggled with that in the early years. I created a lot of blockages within myself because my 3D mind wouldn't allow me to accept that Rentouris or any of the other beings that were coming forward were going to connect in a certain way, if it was telepathy or verbal. So I struggled with that for a while, and but what was interesting was for me, I don't see beings, but I take photographs of beings, and they appear in my eye, the pupil of my eye, and they're mainly family who have passed over. That's who I'm recognizing at the moment. So it's interesting that we speak about different ways of telepathy because I was sort of under the illusion that I would like to have it done this way, and the beings of light explained to me, no, it won't work your way. It will work this way. If you follow our path, we will take you to the point of where you will have an acceptance that there is a connection. So when the beings and family are appearing in my eye, there is a method of communication happening between the two of us. And I've only become aware of that in the last few years, where I see and take a photograph. And an example being my friend passed over 3 years ago, and she was only gone a few months. And I realized she was in my eye, in the pupil of my eye, and she allowed me to photograph her. And then, and when that happened, it was like a reassurance. It was like a gate opened in my mind to say, well, okay, Christy, this is Helen. There's nothing to worry about. She has transitioned across. And then other family members started appearing in the peripheral and the pupil of my eye, different family members and other beings that I'm not aware of. So there's a silent communication happening between me and them. And sometimes that comes into my awareness, and I can be quite happy with that. Like, I can be quite emotional with that. Like, and there's a wonderful connection happening when I connect and I see this. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with the group because when I hear the word telepathy, there's so many different ways we can communicate, if it's with animals or if it's with loved ones or if it's even with self. Like, it's quite interesting for me personally how it's playing out. So thank you.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for sharing and being
Yeah.
so open about it.
Yeah, thank you.
Angie, do you have the answers?
I didn't quite understand the first question. What was
Where are the
the
kids? Where are the extraterrestrial kids?
Where are the kids right now?
Yeah.
is that the question?
Well, no, is the information that I've been given on the hybrid kids in this incarnation, are they all from this incarnation only, or are they from previous incarnations that I've had in different realms, including Earth?
Are you talking about type twos like us here on the planet, or
Yes.
okay, so
Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
we've been
Yes.
around a lot through history, and this is not our first incarnation. We've been here a lot, and in fact, a lot of ascended, quote unquote, ascended masters or people like that, or also other types of these hybrid starseeds But yeah, we've been here a long, long time, and a lot of us have been doing certain things at certain points in history, like pivotal points in history. So some of
That's
us
a
could
very
be,
key point right there.
yep, absolutely. And some of us have been like revolutionaries, like we try to end wars, we try to spark revolutions and evolutions in human consciousness in different stages of humanity's development. And it's all very elegant and delicate is the word. It's a very delicate process, and we are inserted at specific times. It's like playing an advanced form of chess, and we're in and out of the chess pieces, and it's like multidimensional and everything. We try to cover everything because we have the greatest computer system within the Federation, which is like God, source consciousness itself. And but the thing is, nothing is set in stone. That's why we do not deal in absolutes, we deal in probabilities. So we try to cover all probabilities and like keep our minds and everything open to changes and stuff. So same, if anybody ever says like something's going to happen on a certain date, take it with a grain of salt. We don't work in absolutes. But anyway, yeah, I think that answers the first question. What was the second question?
The hybrid children that they speak about in this reality that has come from our DNA, is it just in this incarnation it was taken, you feel, or was it in previous incarnations?
The DNA itself.
Yeah.
So the DNA in the hybrid program goes back 4 generations. So yeah, you could be your own mother or you could be your own grandmother. So it's possible that you've had the, I don't know if that answers your question yet.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that
Okay,
makes
good.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so yeah.
I
And
think, you know, I
what's that?
think what's happening is that each time, each movement, each generation, and the understanding, we are gaining what we need for the next piece of our
Yes.
evolution and the
Yes.
understanding of how we are connected. And the biggest piece is first contact and also the piece of contact after that. And so
Absolutely.
they are, outside of the planet, they are giving. If they see that people are connected, they're going to want to go to those people because they're going to end up being that mouthpiece of how we are bringing about that forward motion of first contact, that forward motion of how we are going to connect to them. Because what's going to happen is people, I say people like us, but those that have those connections to off-worlders, what's going to happen is when they finally come, it will be just like connecting and reuniting with them.
Absolutely. 100%. I agree. And the stuff that we've experienced through multiple reincarnations are all coming together in this lifetime so we can do our job even more properly. So it's a beautiful orchestra of just everything coming together. And I feel so just amazed, just happy to be a part of this process and to be here with you guys right now. This is a part of history right now, this conversation. So thank you so much for being here. And Max, I think with that we will move on to after this comes out, what does this mean for humanity? Like, yeah. So I'll let you kick it off.
Thank you. After contact. So one understanding is that we are attracted by different timelines. Essentially, we are shifting timelines. So shifting timelines, it happens pretty common, is pretty common. And I feel when I shift timelines, when I wake up, I feel the world, the timeline has changed, and certain things are off. Or sometimes it happens in a quiet period between events on the day, and there is like that sound, like boom. No, that other one, boom, like that. And I just see there is some shift happening. They probably whoever runs the simulation has reconnected different timelines with different scenarios. Once in a while, I in a dream I wake up in a different body and I open eyes and I see something out there, and usually this is brown hieroglyphs on golden background. And I learned not to show that I opened my eyes, so whoever watches me is not doesn't notice. If I start moving my eyes around, then I'm turned off. Basically, I get disconnected from that place. But for a few moments, like for a few minutes, I'm actually watching the hieroglyphs in that different body. So I assume it's an alien body somewhere else. So we are here in a collective dream. And in this collective dream, the principle is working that you're attracted to the timeline which matches your vibration. So knowing about conspiracies is super cool, but it lowers vibration. So and by that, by that we attracted to the timelines where catastrophes happen. So just thinking about catastrophes, thinking about politics and troubles bring us down, and we actually shift to the timelines which attracts us. So it's like karma, but it is because our mind looks for troubles, and that what brings us down. So I think there is tons of negative scenarios, but we should vocalize, manifest, vocalize, imagine positive scenario. What happens? What is the ideal scenario for disclosure, contact, and ascension? And it's not easy, and I don't think anybody did it. I read a book by Richard Dolan and I think Bruce Zabel, The Day After Disclosure. Did you read it? Anybody? So the day after disclosure, they imagine how disclosing the secrets would shake the society. And because if the secrets come out, the society, the economy might fall apart, and the society might fall apart. That is, everything is held by deception. And deception is so deep and so big. It's once people realize what's happening, then it's really hard to come old ways. So, and Bashar says, like, Bashar is my favorite source. I studied many channelers. I spoke with Jim Charles at Hokolo for many years, every week or twice a week, and it's all public on Hokolo TV channel. And Bashar is the most clear channel with very clear messages, which come out through for many years. He speaks for about 30 years now. So his estimated predictions are that the contact is likely in 2027, and the range is like 2026 to 2030 for about 4 or 5 years. So, and that is sounds super interesting. So what happens, like, I think the disclosure will continue to happen, and then at some point their official rulers will be forced to invite the aliens. So what is the alien agenda? So there are tons of different aliens and different races, and not even that. Different races are part of the race, could be part of one alliance, and the same race can be part of another alliance. So it could be positive reptilians, intermediate, negative, friendly, unfriendly. Some of them eat us, and some of them help us. So and so on. Nordics as well. Nordics are not necessarily all bad. There are great Nordics which are super helpful and super nice, and the other way around. So there is a lot of different players, but most of the aliens who deal with us, majority, they are interested in incarnating on the planet. So that's their main interest, to become, for us to evolve, to raise our vibration, so it becomes interesting for them to incarnate here. So we did measurements, like channeled experiments. We did measurement. We asked around what average spiritual vibrations of us and other people and the aliens, and an average human is between 1 and 5 number of spiritual vibration, which is 1 is the first chakra survival mode, second is family, 2 is second, and 3 is society and politics and management and all the competition stuff. So third chakra is like dominance, or at least playing the dominant games. And creative people are 4, 5, 5th, and 6th chakras. Very few of the humans raise to the level 7. So many of us oscillate between the level, say, 3 and 5, somewhere between that. And the aliens are typically from 8 to about 16. So the highest was about 15, 16, the friendly alien which we knew, and many are level 12 and 13. So for them, coming down here is just hard. It's it's not only hard, it's not interesting. For them, playing on that level is on level of survival is just boring. So their civilization is not interested in us staying low for a long time. We are artificially kept low, but they want us to rise and to go from survival mode to more like creative and spiritual mode.
Yes.
And for that, they create hybrids, and hybrids, some of us on our survival mode for sure, but some are pretty high, and some of us oscillate back and forth between high and low. That's the reality of living here. But just being spiritually connected is important. So most of the aliens, they don't have that strong of the veil. They can talk to their higher self. They talk telepathically to others. They talk to the spirits, and they have to angels and deities. So there is that connection. And humans in the past also had that connection. And even nowadays, some of the humans are connected to the spirit world. So that is the intention of the majority of the aliens, to make us back spiritual again, make humans spiritual again. And our favorite non-speaking autists, most of them are spiritual. They're not only telepathic, they speak to the spirits, and they are psychics. So it is us coming back to the psychic work. Most of us going back from the third chakra, from low 3 chakras to the highest 4 chakras, going into the heart and up, and connecting to the spirit. So right now, the non-speaking autists already teach the teachers telepathy. So the teachers, the enlightened ones, the kind ones and nice ones, are taught telepathy so they can hear. They're trained to hear and they're trained to speak. So they, in the classes, they take the questions telepathically and answer in a voice, or they teach the classes in silence. Basically, the whole conversation happens in silence. So it is possible for average humans to become telepathic. So that is happening. And I think what is going on is that there is a lot of effort is done by whatever secret forces to keep the earth low. So, but eventually the secret will come out, and the secret forces, secret rulers their methods will be revealed. So I think that would be one of the biggest breakthroughs, is that the limitations that keep us down will be taken off. So the planet is ready to go to the higher vibration. And what holds us down is medications. I think maybe 25% in the Western world are medicated. So that brings them down. Medications bring people to the level of 3 out of their favorite high, whatever it is. Electromagnetic pollution, chemical pollution, food pollution, informational pollution. and constant drama in the news. So there's overload with information, and also the time crunch, time pressure. So most of the humans who want to survive have to do 40-hour jobs and constantly be pressed by timing. So all of that, once it's clear, it's that it is artificially dragging people down, that should allow people to pop into telepathy. And also entertainment, if you notice what is done in entertainment, it's the music and the movies and the videos, they are all preferentially, there is a whole conspiracy to bring them down. So the aliens in the movies are 99.9% always negative. There is always a tragedy, there is always violence. And I don't know, normal people cannot watch violence, but pretty much everybody is housebroken to watch violence and actually laugh at it. Even I, you know, go ahead.
I was going to say the piece that you also forgot to mention about what is really happening with the planet itself is that the vibration of the people on the planet, the vibration of how they resonate, is really also a very key portion, a key part to our own personal evolution
Yes.
on this planet.
Yeah,
So
it affects the planet.
Yeah, so when we try to, when we open up, what we get is not only high vibrations, but also lower vibrations, which are pretty much daily, just like you think you are high, but then if you open up, there is some vibration which will bring you down. So I think if electromagnetic pollution, I think it's intentional, certain types of electromagnetic waves which bring us down. If just the towers will be turned off, that probably will by itself will do great help to raise the vibration of humanity. So I think when things come out, hopefully that will be one of the ways when telepathic humans will pop up in large numbers. Children, teenagers, any ages, lots of people are ready to pop into telepathy, but there are barriers. So how the contact will happen? Basically, what is happening is that there is Galactic Federation and allied groups of aliens, alien alliances, which are positive and play by the rules. And all of them are tied by the rule that they are not allowed to interfere with the planet. So only the negative one, the pirates, are allowed at the planet because they just sneak through. And also it's called grandfathered aliens, which are here from the oldest times, like reptilians who live here longer than humans, and some of the other ones. So the pirates and the grandfathered aliens, these are the ones which are here, and draconians, which are lower in the vibration. But most of that is done by humans themselves. So in Richard Dolan's book and Bruce Zabel's, it's called Runaway Civilization. Essentially, there is a secret civilization which was first secret societies, but then possibly the center of the church, not the whole church, but the secret centers of the church and secret criminal groups under the government or behind the government. These united with the German Nazis, fascists, and after the war is done, through paperclip, they moved away to Antarctica and Argentina and secret bases in English-speaking countries. And then they were merged with the aliens, so they got alien technologies in exchange for the permission to do the hybridization program. So the Greys and the other partners, Nordics, reptilians, and other partners, they made the agreement with this group, and this runaway civilization, military intelligence complex, and there is lots more names for them. They operate underground, in the undersea bases, and Antarctica and other places in solar system. And they use the planet as a source of energy, source of human resources, and production facility for the goods. And then they finish the goods in other bases in solar system, and actually they trade with the galaxies. So that story comes out pretty consistently. So that runaway civilization runs the economy, and it runs the economy through deceit and deception, and through constantly playing with the wars and politics and all the other things I mentioned, and brainwashing. Basically, they define the culture by in the past it was through mainstream media, now it is through AI and social networks. Everything is pretty much regulated by them. So that will come out essentially, and also they run pharmaceutical industry and illegal drug trade. So all of these are basis for secret economy essentially.
And
So that
trafficking,
is they're pressed by the positive aliens to decriminalize that. So the main question is whether that economy and the runaway civilization will continue to run the economy or not. And the main answer is that the parameters, the requirements are that the Earth, the humans have to make their own choices. Basically, the takeover is only plan B. So the Galactic Federation and friends, they are working on plan A, which is to let humans do the reform, and the aliens will be, the positive aliens will be only advised, and they will not take charge. So this makes the game so much more different. And one reason the aliens don't want to take charge is because the transformation very likely will be painful, and they don't want to take blame. And also humans, we know really well, they don't take orders easily. They don't take orders like happily. They would revolt. Humans are tricked by the system to believe they're working for their own benefit, and especially in the West, people believe that they elected their own governments and that everything is done by the law, and that makes Westerners, how do you say, more productive and more creative. So if they will be under alien government, then they will be unhappy. So only in plan B the government will be alien. I think in most of the scenarios it will be humans doing the reforms.
agreed.
So it's also the next reason for humans doing the reforms is that there is a karmic knot on karmic problem which needs to be resolved. We are solving lots of troubles in the past. There were lots of trauma. The main trauma was the self-destruction of Atlantis.
Yeah.
Atlantis already went the path of excessive genetic hybridization. It was a different species. There were 5 major root races according to Blavatsky and Bashar: Polarians, Hyperboreans, Lemurians, Atlanteans, Homo sapiens are the 5 ones. And Atlanteans were the last one which self-destroyed itself through evil slavery and evil genetic manipulation. So they created a lot of modifications of themselves, and they finally crushed. So they were destroyed through that. And now the Atlanteans are incarnated as citizens of United States, and now they are replaying the same scenario, but hopefully they will not go in excessive genetic manipulation of themselves and slavery and totalitarian system. So There are Martians who destroyed their planet. There were Maldek people whose planet was destroyed. There are the Greys whose planet was destroyed, Lyrans whose planet was destroyed. So there is a lot of ancient aliens who lived through the trauma, and now they are coming here to get all the storylines come on the planet to help it to do it right.
Yeah.
Again, there are multiple. Do you want to add something?
No, I was just saying they're helping us move past the troubles and that barrier.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny Sheehan actually mentions the breakaway civilization, the society that controls the economy and everything. He actually mentioned that in his workshop in Contact in the Desert.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the trick is also to realize that this breakaway civilization, although it does things in a very coordinated fashion, I was amazed how well they ran the pandemics. It was extraordinary how well it was coordinated. The economy didn't crash it at all. It was a miracle. Nobody worked. Economy stayed solid. So that means that so much of, or there is a, like the economy sucks out the secret economy sucks out the blood from Earth economy, and if you just stop that, then it has a lot of reserve. Also, like my friends in Greece mentioned that the Greece at that time, the economy of Greece crashed, so they didn't have money, they didn't have anything. But when the quarantine started, money came to place lots of cell phone towers, so the whole country was connected to smartphones and to internet. So some miracles happened, which and lots of things happened simultaneously all over the place. So there was amazing coordination. So they do that well. But again, among the secret rulers of the planet, there are pretty enlightened beings, and we are told that they are run by Hermes Trismegistus, also called Thoth. It is the same ancient ruler, and that they're pretty enlightened, and they're pretty artful in the way they manage economy and humanity. So I think Plan A, it's my educated guess, is to decriminalize the rulers, bring out the secrets, and actually let them to lead the transformation. They already have alien technologies, so it's not that the humans don't have alien technology. The runaway civilizations is largely humans with alien technologies, propulsion, even time travel, and free energy, and genetic manipulation, and longevity, and electromagnetic medicine. So they have pretty much everything, and even telepathy. So if they just merge with us instead of secretly manipulating us, that would be great. And I know they have been pressed, and there is also manipulation happening, and also they are, how do you say, penetrated, implanted by positive hybrids, which are from the positive civilization. So there are hybrids playing on the planet, including corporations and governments and secret societies, secret control networks, financial networks. So I think what likely will happen, my understanding is that the Plan A is positive plan of contact and reform of the society and economy, is to let humans actually let the secrets out and transform everything. I wonder if money system will stay, because money system is built on deception. And the markets, or how do you say, market trading, money trading, market future trading, what's the right word? what's the right word for the market? Market trade system.
Stocks and bonds.
Stock
right?
market. That's
Yeah.
right. Stock markets are based on majority of players having very little idea what's going on, so they take risks. Once you get telepaths, psychic people in the game, I don't think the stock market will be alive at all, because it's based on secrets. So if secrets come out, if mind reading is permitted, stock market probably is not a good tool anymore. So I spoke a while ago with Jim, with Pleiadians, who described to me Plan B, how they would run the economy, and it was pretty weird totalitarian system, which is not much better than I would think human society is. They would probably track every human and grade every human by their performance, and give very regimented what's the word?
Universal income.
Yeah, positive and negative stimuli. That's what I wanted
okay.
to say. Positive and negative stimuli for them to correct their behavior. So it was super totalitarian, super
Interesting.
totalitarian control system. Bringing new currency and new universal income is necessary, but again, I think I don't know how it will happen. Bringing universal government, again, I don't know how it will happen. If that happens through humans, as I said, it's important that humans do that themselves. Then they will have to actually force the governments to unite, bring up the universal currency and universal income, and do all of these reforms, stop the wars, and stop the competition. Because I would say lots of effort goes on competition, and especially it's obvious in advertisement. The level of noise in advertisement is just complete nonsense, I would say. So much effort, like 90% of the budget goes on marketing and advertisement, and 10% goes on production. If you somehow solve that problem, that would make it so much easier. So I lived in Russia during the times of the transition of Russia from so-called socialism to so-called capitalism, and I don't think many Westerners had this experience. So when the old system fell apart and a new system was building, there were about 7 to 8 years of freedom. And freedom was super interesting. So first, in the first couple of years, I observed real free market, not the fake free market, but real free market. So people came out to the streets. There was pretty much no empty corner, and they traded, exchanged, and traded everything. So there was not much production, but in the first couple of years, it was just trading your whatever you had, goods, whatever you had at home for food. But the free trade, free market was everywhere. And immediately people started producing. Like lots of people just saw there is a need for that, let's produce it. Like my relatives started growing flowers and selling flowers because flower trade wasn't big in Russia until then. There was no market, so the market was prohibited. So people started carrying goods and food all over around. So the free market is one place it produces, and the food, lots of varieties started bringing, like moving around, so you can see it everywhere. And after a while, you can start see that criminals are getting free, how they say, uncontrolled crime started happening. But more like 2-3 years before that happened. So uncontrolled grassroots crime. So people started taking, what's that word, fees from the sellers, from traders, from moving things around, from selling things on the street. And that lasted for another maybe 8 years from 1993 to 2000, whatever. So that happened, and then the government finally like grabbed the whole thing and brought it to the Western system. Here you don't see people on the street selling. You're not allowed to sell things. Like people on the beach, they would like to get some water and some food. It's not permitted. The whole California beaches you can't get. You have to go to restaurant. It's all monopolized, all controlled. So and then these criminals they finally got become institutionalized. So the whole hierarchy of crime became standardized, and things happened from the above. So they started being guided from above, and again they became part of the global network of secret rulers, of secret economy. So another thing I noticed, there was a lot of experimentation during all times. It's not only happening on a physical level. That control happens on spiritual level as well. There are some I guess negative spirits or something happening, playing with the humans on the other side in the spirit world. So the best example, I guess, if you just would go in the camping trip with more than 6 people, say 7 people, you will see that the drama will start appearing, and there will be groups and competition. Even if these are most enlightened light workers, you would see there is stuff. In my yoga studio, I see these are pretty enlightened people, right? But in my Pleiadian culture, my alien culture, we are very tribal. So if a new person comes, we always widen the circle, keep the circle around. If it was a yoga studio, you would move mats around and you would find a place for the new one. Here, everybody protects their territory. It's just like embedded in the psyche, in the behavior of people. Even enlightened people, they guard their territory. One person comes, there is like plenty of space if you move around. Nobody would move around until the teachers say, like, please move around and then some people would. I guess 1 or 2 times I saw that people actually do that, but it's not so I'm saying that humans are pretty programmed. They're very programmable, and they're pre-programmed. So reprogramming humans takes time and takes effort. So the main statement was there is some manipulation on the spirit level, and the second point is that humans are programmed. And what I observed in Russia was that transition happened in, say, 5 years from dominant socialism to dominant communism, from, say, 89 to 94. And that the whole system flipped, and everybody was converted, pretty much. 85% of people converted and easily switched. I mean, for some it was hard to switch. Some just became sick and died, but the majority just flipped and switched to the new style, and they continue living. And this flip continues to happen in Russia, but like once in a while there is a new transformation. But what I'm saying, majority of people, they are fine to flip as long as it is a dominant culture and there is a benefit. So it has to be majority, they have to be with majority, and there should be like practical material benefit for them. So when the alien contact comes and when the secrets come out and the new society starts to build, I think humans will switch pretty easily. They will just flip to telepathy. Some will flip to telepathy, and others who are not telepathic will flip to the new lifestyle as long as they see that it is won. It has the new life has won, and there is a practical benefit for them to switch. Right now, people like reject whatever hybridization, aliens, conspiracies because it's they want to be with the majority, and then they want to have good standing among friends and in the office. But once it becomes acceptable, like hippies, they transformed the society in about, again, 8 to 10 years. At some point, presidents would wear long hair and special hippie dresses. It became mainstream. Beatles became like too much of Beatles and too much of rock was playing everywhere. So there was a transition where the society just absorbed and flipped from, I would say, a constipated style to a hippie style. Okay. So how would aliens actually help? I don't think aliens would actually give us technologies anytime soon. They would do advising, cultural help, the cultural exchange, but they are not permitted to give us technologies until we grow into them.
Yes.
So what might happen is that we might just discover that this technology is already here. Some of the, again, medical and energetic medicine, propulsion and energy, and free energy, they already down on the planet. I think they have been repressed very successfully, but I think they're already on the surface, on the underground. So
Yeah.
so this can be just they might just come out.
But we have to address the elephant in the room is like, how did they get these technologies in the first place? They had to down crafts, and some of them may be discovered in caves and ancient structures and stuff. But if they allow us to keep these technologies and integrate them into society, what does that say about the Federation at large? It means they have our best interests in mind. So that's something for people to keep in mind if you're listening to this. Is people are always like, oh, what if they're negative? What if they're evil? The government, not we, but some people on this planet have been shooting down crafts and acquiring this technology and back engineering it, and they have not taken it away from us. They've allowed us to have it, which also on the other end is like these corporations are using this technology most likely against humanity in certain ways, but it also may be because we will get this technology in the future. So they're allowing us to keep it for now. So it's just something to keep in mind.
Right. So my sense is that in positive plan, I think the governments will stay for a while.
Yeah.
And the military will stay for a while. And probably there will be very little repercussions, very little punishment for those who did criminal stuff. They just probably will be given some forgiveness and allowed to actually come out, just stop doing their crimes.
Yeah.
The worst crimes are just hard to pronounce. So I wouldn't pronounce them, but they were pretty horrific things. But
Yeah, I think we all know
maybe
it.
there is new generation and lots of people who are just who didn't do bad crimes and still are aware of technology. So I think what might happen is that if I believe David Jacobs that we have lots of hybrids which were brought up there in the ships and alien worlds and implanted here with alien culture, implanted here, maybe thousands and millions, who are living lives here while having connections with the alien cultures. So they are secretly here. Some of them are just observing and being trained and learning the human ways, and others are actively actually playing in the power circles and financial, industrial, and government circles, military industrial circles as hidden players. So they might come out. And that probably would be like the ground team, a hybrid ground team who would actually will will do the most of the transformation. They are pretty much became native here. I think like being at the same time being telepath and psychic, and at the same time managing things is hard. Like I cannot imagine. It's hard to imagine. Maybe it's possible, but it's hard to imagine a manager being a telepathic psychic at the same time. There are exceptions, but I would say it calls for a system where a manager is non-telepathic, having an advisor who is telepathic. At least that was tradition, I guess, in many armies, where you had a commander and a priest at the same army unit, and the same thing in Soviet factory management. For enterprises, there was like always a party representative and the director, like two different people, and party representative was responsible for the party spirit and director was responsible for management. And they were always important, and actually the director was a little bit lower. Party would send their orders through the party lines usually to the director. So I think that is already existing tradition. So one of my futuristic approaches is that probably we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Probably everything which will happen has already precedent here and already has a background here. So probably we'll just have lots of things flipped, but whatever we already have here will just manifest in much stronger way. So I'm looking for tribal spirit. Basically, there are two ways. One is a tribal way, which is Lemurian, traditional tribal on lots of American Indian. Pretty much every continent has traditional tribes, and Pleiadian way, tribal way, and there is a technological way, which is one of the ways is Atlantis, another way is Orion system, which is very hierarchical. They were telepathic, but hierarchical, technological, and pretty, I would say, pretty authoritarian. Yeah, super exceptionally authoritarian. And there is the way of the Greys, which is making cyborgs, essentially converting humans into cyborgs. That's what they are doing. They the agenda at the moment is to combine humans with some sort of interface to the AI system, artificial intelligence. So it doesn't have to be implants. At the moment, implants are most obvious, but there could be helmets. There could be non-invasive, some sort of electromagnetic infrared bands which interface with the mind, and then you connect through high bandwidth with broadband. You connect to the computational system, and everyone gets one or more individual advisors. So they will be guided and guided and advised. Go ahead.
There's more than one kind of gray. For everyone listening, there's more than one kind of gray species.
Yep. Which is your favorite?
Well, I don't really know all the names to all of them, but I have heard of the Ebens, and from what I've researched and everything, the Ebens are really, really chill. And those are the ones that you can like meditate with and listen to some singing bowl music and just relax. So yeah, the Ebens are my favorite.
Yeah, I was talking about the Zetas. Yeah. Zeta Grays.
Yeah.
So more like on the negative side. They're not purely negative, but they're more on the negative side. And there is a lot of hybrids. Tons of hybrids have the Zeta genetics, and also the Zetas were the ones which initiated this recent hybridization program in the 40s, 50s, and gradually it was picked up by other races. So we have
Yeah.
lots of Zeta involvement here.
And there's many different hybrid projects going on side by side. It's like
Yeah.
different agendas, different races.
So with Huckel, a human colony, we started our own hybridization project. Actually, we joined the hybridization project where humans volunteered for hybridizing. And we had lots of humans actually volunteering and getting hybrid children in the last over 10 years, 12 years. And so we were friendly with Yael, which is my favorite one, my favorite
Yeah, those are
hybrid
nice.
species with which is part human, part Zeta, part Pleiadian, and part Lyran and few others. So yeah, so basically humanity faces long-term faces the two paths. One is tribal path, natural path, and one is technological. And probably there will be some hybrid blend. So the tribal culture, I see it incarnated in modern yoga studios, New Age circles, Reiki circles, New Age festivals, shamanic ceremonies, Native American ceremonies, South and North American ceremonies, and music festivals, lots of modern music festivals. They have this tribal culture, and that's terrific. When I come there, I feel at home, although I'm too rustic for them. I'm too mainstream for them. There I met hybrids which are so much more advanced. They're so much more enlightened and high. So with my conspiracy theories, I'm too dark for them and too old too. So that might come out. Then I would imagine a transformation of religion, transformation of churches, because churches are still they still have a spirit of God and angelics. So I could imagine that aliens and hybrids, psychic hybrids and channelers would start being invited and actually teach at churches. Can you imagine that?
That would be amazing.
And then what do you need to do to transform, say, Christianity into an enlightened religion?
Well, the thing with that is we need to bring the feminine back into
Right.
the culture. The feminine was taken out through the
Right.
religious control systems, and that's what they started controlling mankind and everything. But we're waking up, we're coming together. The goddess divine energy is waking up inside of us, and the females are coming together, and we're starting an uprising, so to speak.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
a solar punk society is kind of like is where we should probably be trying to head, because we can blend the amazing technologies with the earth and learn to work with the earth. And we eventually need to start dissolving the economy and go towards universal income. And then it requires a shift of consciousness. It requires an ego dissolving, because we don't want to come from a place of like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want everything. We must dissolve our need and want of material things. But it comes naturally once you go inward and find God's source consciousness within yourself and understand that everything's connected. All those desires and needs dissolve away. So it's a meeting of your consciousness level with the new society coming together. It all needs to be played out perfectly in the right way. But I think we're gonna get it done. But solar punk society is like probably the best outcome.
Which society?
Solar punk. It's where you have robots, solar powered robots, doing crop work, garden work and stuff. And then we could just meditate all day and relax and work on technology, space travel, and go to the stars. And we don't really have to compete with each other anymore. We can work with each other instead of so that's where we need to go.
I got something to say about everything that you just said.
All right.
And now everything that you've all said is great in a perfect world, but it's not a perfect world. If you take governments, the so-called people in charge, so-called, the power is not at the top. The power is not in the province or the state. It's actually on the municipal level, believe it or not. So let me give you an example. You move to the country and you put up a shed, maybe like a room, a storage shed, let's say. And you have to, before you even build, go to your bylaw. You may not even know there's bylaws out there. There's tons of bylaws in different places. And they say, oh, we don't allow you to grow oregano. And you say, what? Oregano? Why? Oh, it's been banned. No particular reason. They just say, oh, we're banning oregano. I'm just using this as an analogy. Or we can't allow you to put your shed up because you got to buy a permit. All these different things figure in, which is a restriction of freedom and rights. So let's say down the road, all these cameras start going up everywhere in the city area and even on the highways. And if you notice on the highways, I would imagine everywhere in the world, every time you come off an exit, what do you see at the exit? Well, you see a cell phone tower, which is many-purposed. It's dual-purposed. There's a positive and there's a negative. The positive is it gives you a cell phone reception, but it's also got a negative that they don't tell you about. It's a yin and yang factor in everything. So we're living on a planet that has many yin and yang factors to everything. So how do you make this world a better place? You know, we can talk together here with the group of us here, and we're throwing all these great ideas out there in a perfect world, but it's not a perfect world. It is if it wasn't corrupted, but it's corrupted. So now we have a form of corruption and it's everywhere. Look at COVID. Just look at COVID. COVID was the actual reason why I got out of the city and into the country. I'll tell you something, my vibration, when I did that, wow. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you a story about alien beings. On the day I came up here and basically verbalized and handshook and said, yep, I'm going to buy the house here. Everything was great. Okay, next step is we got to meet the lawyers. So I had to go back to the city, which is 400 kilometers away because I moved 400 kilometers in the north. On that day, I'll tell you what happened to me. I traveled back, and there's many bridges because Canada, where I live, there's lots of rivers and lakes, and there's lots of bridges on the highways to get you through. A meteorite hit a bridge on the main highway on one lane. So you have a north and south lane, or east and west. So I'm traveling south from the north. The northbound lane, big traffic delay, 6-hour traffic delay, emergency traffic delay, they call it. I had no other choice. I was already at the point of no return. When I passed the bridge, not knowing what the real reason is, I'm looking at a hole that's a perfectly round circle. It's about 4 feet wide. Circle, right? 4 feet wide. Right through the bridge. It's like it was lasered. Perfect, okay? Like you could put sandpaper on how smooth it was. It looked like a cannonball shot if you were to hit a galleon. Perfect round hole, boom, right? And I'm thinking, this is strange. I said, look, it's like a meteorite fell through. I bet you that's what happened. A meteorite fell and took out the one side of the bridge. That was under construction for a year and a half during COVID, okay? Gets even better. I stop in the nearest town because now I've been 6 hours in traffic. I'm hungry. Well, we couldn't get food because it's COVID and everything's closed. Okay, no food. Okay, we travel on. On the highway, about 1 hour away from Toronto, but still in the country, I see a Bigfoot. Me, my son, and my real estate agent in the same car. I'm driving. Real estate agent goes to me, what's a big black man doing on the side of the road, right? A big black man, right? And I'm driving. I said, holy crow. I said, that's a Bigfoot. So I pulled over, because I'm a parapsychologist, by the way. And my son's like, wow, Daddy, wow. The real estate agent's in total panic, okay? What are you doing? What are you doing? I said, well, I'm going to go take a picture, right? That's a Bigfoot. What are they like? Wow. When was the last time you seen a Bigfoot up close? Like, this is a myth creature. And this is the first time I'm seeing it, okay? On the day I verbalized the contract for my house, on the very day. My son was happy. I was in glee. And the real estate agent prevented me from going out in the car. He goes, keep on going, keep on going. I'm scared. He goes, go, 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 go. So I looked at him. I said, okay. Right? He went. No picture. I let it be. All right. 3 months later, when I moved in, we moved in here 1:30 in the morning. We're coming into the property. Okay. It's dark. It's nighttime. Stars everywhere. Okay. It's like a major star event. Because in my area, you can see all the stars. There's no interference. It's dark at nighttime. No light. The next day, we had breakfast. And now we got to start moving the convoy of moving trucks. All right. I had about 4 of them. All right. To move out. And I'm in the moving truck and I'm bringing the material to the front. I hired a friend of mine who was unemployed. It was COVID. And I said, buddy, I'll pay you $25 an hour for 1 week. I'll pay you cash. Let's get me moved in and everything else. He accepted, okay. And this guy was big. Eh? He's about 6'4", huge, 250 pounds. He's a great guy you would have as a bodyguard, okay? That's the type of guy, big guy, a big, strong guy. And he's from Argentina, Chile, actually, Chilean. And he's making a panic. He's going, Jimmy, there's, again, big black furry man in the woods. And I'm in the truck. I'm thinking, big black furry man. So I come out of the truck. He goes right there. And I look, holy crow. I said, that's a Bigfoot, right? As soon as I said, that's a Bigfoot, he went into the forest. He walked into the forest. That was the end of the story. 6 hours later, I meet my neighbor for the first time. First thing he says, oh, you bought the place next door. I go, yeah. His friend who was visiting says, did you see the Bigfoot? Wow, yes. You seen it too? Yeah, it was on your property. Okay. Significant event in my life. Never seen a Bigfoot before. In 3 months, I seen 2. Okay. Both on my property related.
So miracles happen.
That's a great thing because spirituality is meeting us. There's a vibration level going on and everything else. In our world, these corrupted people in power know all the goods and bads about everything. So they hit us with everything to control us, to keep us down. In Egypt, it was no different. Guys, like you said, they had their priests. The Pharaoh had their priests. You think the priest told the Pharaoh everything? No. You think the Pharaoh told the people everything? Definitely not. Because then the power would be, everybody would share it. The same thing's going on here, guys. So the power is groups of people. Hello, how are you? Very well. There's the power is from within. We all have to do what we're doing, but go low key. Because when you go big scale, they attack. And when I mean they attack, I mean the people that are corrupted in the world, and there's many of them. It's a chess game, like you said. But look at the full chessboard. This is our struggle.
Yeah, let me disagree with you. First, what I said is we get a timeline which matches our vibration. If we grow inside and we vibrate properly, we end up with a pretty interesting game. And actually, this collective dream is maximized for drama. Absolutely. So whatever happens is to give more entertainment for every player. So I'm not saying there will be no drama, but at the moment I'm pretty happy what is happening in Congress in terms of disclosure and New Jersey drones. By the way, New Jersey drones appeared about a year ago everywhere, and my reading back then was that they are about to stop the nuclear war. So essentially, the secret rulers had a war planned after the pandemic. They wanted to do a war, global war. And New Jersey drones, basically around the world, there's aliens pretending to be drones and stopping the war. They are just demonstrating that they wouldn't allow to do nuclear war. So in all of this, first is personal vibration brings us to a good timeline. And second, again, if you take out the main secret ruler factor, then human nature can be coerced pushed into the positivity. If you just neutralize secret rulers by taking out the secrets, if the secrets are revealed, then the whole negative scenario, not the balance is shifted. Then the balance is shifted. So having telepaths and mind readers allows to reveal the secrets, and that I think would be the key for transformation. Like again in Russia, when there was no communist power, when the foreign powers didn't come in, when there was no central negative control, then things actually started to improve. And then the centralized crime came, and that what moved the balance. If you take out the secret of centralized crime, if you reveal the names, reveal their intentions and connections, then I think that solves the whole problem. So once we get a critical number of telepaths in the society, I think that's it. Right now, what's happening, we are still under quarantine. The Galactic Federation is hands off. They are secretly sending the hybrids, but that's it. They are demonstrating with New Jersey drones that they know about the war, and they're pushing the current powers to reveal the disclosure, but only the pirates and the grandfathered aliens are here. Only the grandfathered secret rulers are here. Once we actually become open to galaxy, then the good forces can actually openly play with us, and I think they will not take charge, but they would help humans to actually see the truth, and that would be the major help they can do.
What if the telepaths that are in society now are the ones who reveal some of these secrets and the connections on where to look and how to get this information out?
So what's your question?
That would be interesting. This is more of a statement.
Oh, the statement, yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder how we overcome the noise in social media. How do we allow?
Yeah, that's a problem.
allow the smarter voices not to be drowned into the artificial. I guess it is the same thing. It's artificial manipulation. There is lots of how do you say manipulators who are centrally funded. Like I'm being attacked once in a while. I'm being attacked by clearly centralized how do you say agencies, and they put a little, very little effort on me. Like
Yeah.
they low qualification trolls, low qualification trolls.
Yeah. Same.
So then I don't know. I guess we need some sort of better system for, like, Reddit. I guess is the least control system.
All right. So I want to take a step back.
Uh-huh.
Let's talk about, if you don't care, can we talk about the implications if or when we get the proof from the genetic research that DNA, the
Uh-huh.
alien DNA exists within us? How do you think people are going to react to that? And like, how can we calm that fire? Because I know there's going to be a lot of religious pushback. I don't know if you've ever read Susie Hanson's book, The Dual Soul Connection. If you ever heard about Susie Hanson talking, but she's talked about how us starseeds are going to come together, and it's happening. But she said there's going to be some pushback against us in society, but it's to be expected because humans are afraid of what they don't understand. But yeah, what are your thoughts on all of this, on their reactions to the news? And I know there's different classifications of people, but of course, let's talk about the people who are going to react adversely to this.
I say we just get used to that. There is nothing more to do, but I think there is, if, as in Russia, they used to say, historical truth is behind you. So if there is a tendency, if there is a progress happening where the planet is shifting and more people are popping into the telepathy, then we don't need to do much. We just stand our ground and show our good intentions. It's I mean, our, like, the best indication that miracle is possible is Kai Dickens with telepathy tapes. It was just so
Yes.
easy for her to make this beautiful transformation. I don't know how it happened. I think the angels helped,
Yes.
the aliens helped, and the right people just shared the message, and then it just dominated the whatever the charts and dominated the global consciousness, I guess.
Yep. It's like roots growing up from the ground, and we all have our own
Yeah.
root stems, and we're coming together into one beautiful plant.
Yeah, I'm a kind of playing. We are both of like all of us here. We are playing here for many years, so
Mhm.
just got used to that. It's we came in peace. We have good intentions, and we do whatever we can, and we are mostly talking, actually, like analyzing genetics and talking. Just it's information management.
Yeah,
We don't pretty much we are grassroots. We are not part
that's
of
right.
any organization, and as a scientist, I stay with the principle. I have no loyalties whatsoever. I have personal preferences, but to in science, my principle is that to understand the truth, you have to be like really impersonal. What's that word? Cool, not affiliated with anything. You like really want to see the truth. To understand the secret rulers, you have to actually mind read them, and to mind read them, you have to like them. You can't mind read someone you hate or afraid. You have to really understand what they are. So
That's true. And if I might add, so like at my job, everyone knows about my ET experiences. Everybody that works with me, I am very open about it. But some people I have talked to about the genetic stuff, and they're like, yeah, you know, if you had asked, if you told me this, that you're a hybrid when we first met, I maybe wouldn't have believed you, but now that I gotten to know you, people who get to know us, what I'm trying to say is people who get to know us can see that we're different than they know it. And because we're very different, we have our different quirks and our different way of talking and doing things and our movements and stuff. So I think when people get to know us on a deeper level, instead of judging us from a distance, they will understand that we're here to help and that we're just quirky and we're happy and we're just here to share love and to teach people how to love themselves and all that stuff. So, and it's the people who are afraid of change mostly and the religious control systems. But it is what it is. And to advice to all starseeds slash type 2 hybrids, however you want to identify yourself, my advice to you is just be yourself, because being yourself is getting people ready for other alien contact in the future. Just you being around them and you existing is enough.
All right.
All right.
I think are we done? Like we're close. Yeah, the timing is right. Yeah.
Almost. Anybody want to share any more stories or anything? I got some stories to share if you guys want to fill in the
Go ahead,
gaps.
Nadalee. Yeah, you was silent so much. Let's hear you.
I
You are
have
new to the human colony.
yeah, I have had a lot of experiences in the last 2 years, things that have changed me a lot for the better. And like I'm planning on writing a book one day, but it wouldn't be a book to make money or anything. It would just be to share, information and to help people come forward. But it's a lot. And I actually wrote a little bit about like what it's like to be an experiencer. To be an experiencer or an abductee, it's not cut and dry. It's not black and white sometimes, but there's this thing inside of you. It's like a seed that gets implanted in your consciousness in your heart. There's something, there's this drive forward. When you make contact with them, it's like you want to do so much. You want to help humanity, and there's nothing else on your mind but the mission itself. The mission to connect people and to help humanity and to help the planet. It's almost maddening, but it would be even more maddening for people like us not to do anything. The moment we don't react on those feelings to come forward and to help humanity, that's when we start losing our minds and we start getting stir crazy, because it's like a pool inside of us. And a lot of us don't really get studied psychologically enough by the right people. Most of us get called crazy and all, we get medicated. But I think it would be a really cool study of the psychology of hybrids like starseeds. Um, and I'm sure James has some thoughts on that as well. And I would love to hear James's thoughts on that. I think you have something to say. Where'd he go? Oh, I think he had to go.
He had to go.
Oh, I thought he was raising his hand.
Yeah, he had to go. And so he was yeah. That's
Okay.
what that was.
So, you know, explaining my experiences and all that stuff to people who are not experiencers is almost like explaining what emotions are when they've never experienced emotions, or what colors are and they've never seen colors. Like you can tell them all day that you've met aliens, but to actually feel what that feels like, it's hard to portray that. But all we can do is tell our stories and get them ready for when that happens, they can stay calm. So I teach people how to make contact all the time and with success. And they come back to me and they're like, "You've changed my life. You've helped me make contact and stay calm and all this." And it really makes me feel good to be able to make a difference. But I've met many different races, mostly the Pleiadians. They really have taken an interest in me, and I work for the Federation essentially. I'm doing the groundwork, and I'm an emissary, so to speak. But labels are labels. Humans love their labels, and we try to use the best labels when we are representatives of the Federation. But the United Experiences Initiative, as you can see from my title here, I'm starting that to help experiencers come forward, to be brave, to have that platform, to be able to speak about their truths, because disclosure isn't only going to come from the government and all of that. It's going to come from the people. Disclosure is happening right now in society, and experiencers do not have a voice at the table right now, like in Congress and on the platform, so to speak. So I am building the United Experiencers Initiative to give us that platform, to give us that hope and that power and that microphone to speak up. Like, hey, I've encountered ETs, and here's the thing: you can be at the grocery store and be behind somebody in line, and they have probably encountered aliens, and you would never know it because you never spoke about it. But if they see your face, if they see you speaking about it, they'll turn around and say, hey, I've met them too. And it turns out there's a lot more of us out there that have actually met extraterrestrials, and we don't know we're standing right next to each other. And that's profound. It gives me chill bumps every time I think about it. It's like there's so many of us out there. So the first agenda that the United Experiencers Initiative, the UEI, we're going to do is we're going to hold groups around the world for experiencers to come forward in a safe space to let them know that they're not alone, that there's a lot of us in different communities around the world, and to let people say like, hey, we're not alone. We're all here. We all have had our experiences. This is real. And then it would be time for us to speak up about what they've taught us about helping the planet, increasing people's consciousness, because a lot of us have been given that fire in our heart to do something, but we don't have that singular platform, that singular thing to coalesce to be able to do that. And that's why I'm creating the UEI for all of us that who have had encounters, that have that urge to help humanity. But I have met Pleiadians on the ships, in my rooms, in public settings, you name it. And they're amazing. They are absolutely divine beings. They are like just like angels on earth, and they just, oh, I can't put into words. But I'll tell you about some of my experiences if you don't care for me to keep rambling on.
Please continue. It's great.
It's like a switch that just gets flipped on in my head. That's one of my things. But so this was June June 6th when this happened. So I went to the dentist on May 22nd, and I was given anesthesia. Now, some of the side effects of type 2 hybrid, characteristics of type 2 hybrids is medications do not go well with us sometimes. So they gave me liquid anesthesia, and the next following 2 weeks or so, I was feeling really groggy, really tired, like it really messed up my brain. And I'm assuming the microtubules, I don't know if you have ever done any research on that. It's really good stuff. But I think it affected my microtubules. But anyway, I asked the Federation, because I was in contact with them at this time. I asked them if they can help me, and they did. So I said, can you guys please help me, because it's really messing up my brain. I can't do these live streams. I can't run the United Experiences Initiative, all that good stuff. So I went to sleep. And I woke up with 2 red grid patterns on my back. And a lot of people try to debate me, like, oh, you laid on something or whatever. No, I rolled everything out. Trust me, this was not anything like that. But it's actually called the red grid mark phenomenon. It's a real thing. But when I woke up with the marks on my back, I felt amazing. I felt like I can run a marathon. I was completely cleared and whatever was going on in my brain, and I had the greatest day ever, and henceforth. But that night, after that whole day was over, I said, can you guys please show me what happened? I need to know what happened. So I went to sleep, and it was almost like I was there again, reliving the experience. They literally gave me the memory back of what happened. So I was laying on a white table in a white room and had a tube, like a ribbed tube in my right nostril and a tube in my right ear. And I couldn't really look to my left or right too much. And I'm assuming there were grays in the room because they never let me look directly at them for some reason. I think it's because I will remember more or something. But I couldn't move my head, but I could move it down to the end of the bed. And I saw 4 or 5 beings standing there, all dressed in blue suits, tight blue suits, all male, blonde hair. And collectively in my mind, they said, shh, it's okay. And then I passed out. And then I woke up in the morning. I was like, oh my God, it was the Pleiadians. And they helped clear my mind. But I have actual physical proof of when that happened. I documented the marks for 5 days, and they slowly turned into a slight sunburn and faded away. But that's one of my experiences. Yeah. Any questions on that one? Nope. I think everybody here is pretty familiar with Pleiadians and how they work and everything. But my advice to anyone who has been taken out there, just remember that regression therapy is very important. And once you go through regression therapy, 99% of you will remember a positive outcome in your encounter, because my theory is that your mind will play tricks on itself and will fill in the gaps, so to speak, and make the experience way more negative than it really was. But they're usually only taking the people that they are working with, like type 2 hybrids. So they're either checking on you, doing procedures on you to help you. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind for anyone listening out there that's ever been taken. So I did have another experience. I don't really talk about this one a lot, but it's important that I do, and they want me to talk about it more. It happened on June 6, 2024, same year as the other one last year. And in the middle of the night, I was vibrated. My whole body, this is usually how it happens. You wake up, your whole body's vibrating, and you start floating. You're either floating out of your body or your physical body floats. This time, my physical body was floating out of the bed. I was literally float 2-3 inches out of my bed, like above my bed. And then I black out. And I'm like floating in this dark room, and there's this I couldn't move, like I'm completely constricted. It's almost like I'm in a dentist chair, but I'm just in the air in the gravity field. It's the strangest feeling ever. And I was kind of panicking, and I was like, what is going on? Because I couldn't see anybody, but I could feel the presence of grays nearby. And I was just kind of startled because, I was like, I'm in the dark here. I don't know what's going on. But this robot arm comes down from the ceiling. It's like looks like a elongated Tootsie Roll, and it's kind of like a mustardy color. But it comes down, it's about this big around. It comes down from the ceiling, and it bends halfway, and it stops about a foot away, 1.5 feet away from my chest. And I'm kind of anxious. I don't know what's going to happen. And then it shoots tubes into my chest. And I'm like, oh my God. I started screaming bloody murder. Like it hurt so bad. It was like they were sucking my lungs. And I'm screaming so much. I'm like, stop, please stop. It hurts. And then I black out, and I wake up in my bed screaming. I wake up screaming, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm flailing my arms and everything. But when I calm down, I realized I could breathe better. The whole day I was like taking in more air. But the thing is, when I got to my job, I couldn't breathe because I didn't realize there was a exhaust problem where we test the motors. And they said telepathically, they said, yeah, you're going to have to wear a mask now because you're more sensitive to exhaust and dust and stuff. We had to clear your lungs because of all of this, and you need to take care of yourself because you're here to do important stuff. But moral of the story is, just because it was a traumatizing experience, doesn't mean it didn't have a positive outcome. I had a positive outcome. I could breathe better. But they usually only heal people when it's very, very important. And I know I've had a lot of people say, why can't they heal everyone? But the thing is, some of us are here to experience certain things, or higher selves agree to experience certain things before we incarnate here. So unfortunately, that's just how it is. But yeah, anyway, that's the end of that story.
Thank you.
Thank you, Max.
So as we are coming back to the ideas of hybridization, let's mention again a project for genotyping people.
Yes.
I'm switching just switching back to group view.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been watched on YouTube by 12 people, and I will copy that to the Hucolo TV channel so more people will watch there. So essentially we're inviting people to interview and share the video your experiences of being hybridized and taken and being visiting the ships. And also the plan is to make 3 analysis for people: genetic analysis, video interview, and regressions. And if you go to xg1.org, you can find all information, but essentially today and tomorrow the kits are on sale on MyHeritage, so you can get them for about $40. We are accepting. We need 3 people: father, mother, and an adult child. Everybody has to sign the informed consent, and then we do the analysis, analyze 700,000, nearly a million human variants, and see if there are non-parental variants in a child. And so far we get promising results, but we need more data to get better with that. So that would be great progress. And then also, even if you don't have money for the analysis and you can give interview, that would help. So we probably can raise money using the video, and we would find some sponsors who would fund this analysis. So if you have good experiences and you can report it, that would help too. So we are we are having a register right now. We have about I think 18 families who submitted the information. Please send us your information, and once we get the funding, we will do more genotyping. Right now, the abductees have to fund themselves. So right now, it's very cheap. It's $40 per person. So for $120, you can get things analyzed, and you will get the results. And also, I will anonymize the results and publish the paper with anonymous results, and that should help us to bring the disclosure and the contact, to bring up the disclosure and the contact. And there is a lot of interest. I mean, the paper with the preliminary results was pretty popular, so we got interest from lots of different parties, and we just need to do that work. We need a little bit of funding and the families to volunteer. The risks are moderate, I would say, as the hybridization becomes a commonplace. It was hidden, but I think about from 2 to 10% of population are hybrids, so it's not that rare.
It's only rare because nobody's talking about it.
Exactly. There might be more than you
That's
think.
why it's not. But you stop and think about all of the different traits that certain people have. It becomes much more.
There is so many people with autism and ADHD, so most likely most of us are hybrids, so it's not that rare. And all the people are ancient hybrids, so we are hybrids. That's like, I don't know. Are ancient hybrids more important than the recent hybrids? I would say it's all hybrids.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Agreed.
One of the messages I got years ago was that excessive hybridization is bad. It can collapse the collective biofield of the humanity.
Yep.
So we should learn, and our science should study the optimal biofield and see what hybridization is good. And if right now humanity is very full of life, with all our personal drawbacks. We are not that smart. We are not that psychic. We are not that telepathic. And we are egotistic and psychopathic. But we are full of life, and we want to become better, but we don't want to lose the life force. So I think our science should study what is the optimal amount of hybridization and where do we actually want to go with our hybridization. Which of the alien races do we want to hybridize with? Because once you open our borders, instead of abortion, you can just request that your child will be taken out there, and the other way around, they will come here and marry us. Essentially, some of them want to live here, some of them want to take mates and live out there. So that what happened in Russia. Like there was a lot of people coming and grabbing Russian girls and boys, and there was an expert of great people That would happen with the planet. They would want humans as mates, and also they want to bring their culture here and actually settle here. So there will be competition between the aliens to actually live here once we become a little bit higher vibration and safer to live here. So we want to be educated which alien races we like, and that's a free will of humanity is respected. So humans have to make an educated decision which of the alien races to follow and which to become friends with. Because so many people are military oriented, they probably will want reptilians, because that's like the reptilian strong part, they're good warriors. Some people who are focused on domination, they probably want Orions. But Pleiadians are cool because we are soft and gentle and poetic and creative and artistic. So we are, I suggest everybody votes for Pleiades. Pleiadian culture is super nice. Arcturians are very spiritual. Yael is super nice. And, having children with Yael is super cool. They can shapeshift, they can bilocate, they can disappear and appear in different places. They can live in multiple timelines at the same time. They can watch multiple timelines. They can see the future. That's like super nice psychic and other supernatural abilities. So, Yael are among the most talented ones. Which ones should I advertise? Syrians are great.
The Lyrans.
Positive Syrians, Lyrans.
Lyrans.
Positive Syrians and Lyrans are terrific.
I've only met the Lyrans in my dreams, actually, and dream contact is a very real thing, I must mention.
Yeah.
Yep.
Meditation, yoga, and all other new age arts are.
And breath work.
You would need that. Well, once we accelerate the shift, once you become telepathic, that's the main way to integrate it. Like if the aliens can do it like that. They just in their presence, you turn on the telepathy and it stays there. So once you pop into a psychic telepathic state, you have to integrate it. And integration requires physiology. You have to integrate it on body level, on physiological health level. And that's the whole another chapter of life to integrate.
Oh, yeah.
And yoga and Reiki are the easiest path. Dance, spiritual dance, enlightened dance, but you have physically integrate the telepathy.
Mm-hmm.
So clean food, clean thoughts, clean computational input, like informational input. You have to filter out junk, because once you are open, the channel is open. You have to be like really nice about have a diet on information. Informational diet is super important.
All right, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
And that is for Natalie. Because I'm sure that a lot of the people that are going to be watching this, a lot of the people that are experiencers as well, how can they reach out to you? How can they get in touch with you? Because I do agree, the more we become more vocal about what it is. I mean, just an example was I was walking down, and one of my employees said, "Oh, you're the one that talks to aliens." And like, as a matter of fact, the answer to that is yes, right? Yes. I mean,
Yes.
not going into, but it's because I'm being more open about what my experiences are and how I experience not only aliens but angels and people that have passed. But it's how can we be that voice? How can
That's
we
right.
be that experience? How can we all come together? How can we get in touch with you to be a part of this?
So right now the website is still under construction, but my email is contact.theuei@gmail.com, and then we'll put that in the description in the
Yes.
You
YouTube
can
replay.
find Nadalee's contact at xg1.org.
Yep, there is
Okay.
And in
Mhm.
context, Nadalee is there.
Okay.
And we have a Discord channel for all the UEI members that can join. We have sub channels. Everybody can come in there. We're a whole group of experiencers. We're all family in there. So if you want to join the Discord, we'll also put that link in the description as well.
That's
Just
a great idea.
yep.
Thank you
And
for that. Because, we really do. There's more people that truly experience not only off-worlders, but
mhm,
just that telepathic communication is becoming more and more accessible,
exactly.
and we're able to do it on a greater level.
Yeah, so the thing is, there's a lot of different experiencer groups out there, and that's fine and dandy, and I support all of them, but we all need to come together into one
That's
central
the truth,
unit
right?
because
Yes.
the house divided will fall, essentially. So we need to come together and unite under one name. And I'm not saying that I'm saying that the UEI is like the cure for everything, but I'm going to try to help the best I can to bring us all together into a platform because this is the calling. This is my mission to do on this planet. This is what I'm being driven to do with the Federation.
Yes.
So I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going no matter what, no matter
Right.
what happens.
When
But
you stay on your path of why it is that you're here, when you stay focused and move that forward on that path, it is that which gives you the greatest joy, as
exactly.
Bashar says,
Yes.
do what gives you the greatest joy.
And
And
that's what
when
I'm
you can
doing.
do that, I mean, that is really how it really can evolve into something that is.
Exactly. I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now and I feel it in my
Yes.
body and my soul and I'm so
Yes.
happy and I'm just like things are falling into place for me for the UEI
Yes.
and it's like
Yes.
wow, it's all coming together. I've got people supporting and then Max lets me join up with him with the genetic program and I'm like
Mhm.
it's all happening perfectly the way it's supposed to happen because we're here to help
Yes.
humanity and do our job. But
Yes.
it's like I'm in a position to like I've had these experiences, but for 17 years I encountered UFOs and I didn't know that connection or who I was. It's like they were waiting. They're waiting for me to understand and to listen and to go deeper within. And soon as I went deeper within, I was like, oh my God, it's all about meditation, spirituality, source consciousness. Everything is a dream. Everything is like connected consciousness. And then
Right.
it all opened up, and then it's like I can just manifest things into reality, and it's just like boom. But it's not like I can snap my fingers and get me out of my day job instantly, but it's happening over time. But
Right.
it's not about reaching for things like reaching out. It's
Right.
about
Right.
letting it happen and know that you're on the right path and that it will
Right.
happen no matter what. You don't think about how you're going to get there. Just
Right.
be in that moment, be in the
Right.
now and be in that frequency and then it will meet you halfway.
Yes. That's it in a nutshell.
Yep.
Those words just spoken right there is it in a nutshell. When you don't have to reach for it and it's just brought to you, you're like, I mean, okay, wow, I can't
Yeah.
believe it. That's how sometimes I look at some of the things that I'm doing and I'm like, it's all come to me and it's just like,
Beautiful.
so I truly understand that. My whole purpose and goal is to help everyone be the best that they can be without the illusion of who and then what it is that they are, why they're here. And so
Exactly.
that is,
We would love to have you as part of the UEI. We need more people like you.
yeah. I do want to get in touch with you.
Thank
I
you
do
so
want
much.
to get in touch with you.
Yeah, we're gonna get the legal paperwork and everything done soon for taxes and all that stuff. It's going to be an
Yes.
international nonprofit organization,
Yes.
just essentially a nonprofit organization that will
Right.
be reaching out internationally. But
Right.
um, a lot of people get hung up on the whole legal work and stuff like that. Like, oh, it's part of the government stuff. Don't worry, it's nothing like that. It's
Right.
just for paperwork and tax
Right.
purposes and stuff.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, we're just here to help, and We're also advocating for denuclearization of the planet, helping nature. We're going to develop schools in the future to teach telepathy and to teach spiritual education and emotional education, all that stuff that needs to be taught and should have been taught to our children a long time ago. And we would have a much better society by now if it was, if we did that. But it starts with the ground up, the groundwork. So the next generation's coming, we're going to do a much better job. But the UEI stands for that. We love you. We all love you, and we're here to help. So thank you so much, Angela.
Yeah.
Yeah, human colony started in 2013.
Yes.
We got
2013.
The ship on a orbit with international interracial.
Girk Fickner.
Yeah, Georg Fittner with international team, and there was a Yael, Disdu, and there was Liran, Tekir, and she invited us to start a human colony. The idea was mine, but basically I said, like, take us out there and let's meet on your space if you can let us visit. So the visits were in the astral, but some people remember the visits, and then that community sort of exists until now. And Jim Charles is the main channeler, but we have lots more channelers in that community, and we had some physical meetings as well, physical gatherings.
Yeah.
And we had some books published, and lots of people started channeling based on. We were the first ones to come with open microphone for channeling and questions
Yes.
on YouTube in 2013 in the fall. So people could come from anywhere, and we were broadcasting the channeling in real time.
That's
So
amazing.
you can find us on hucolo.org, and the genotyping project is xg1.org, standing for Extraterrestrial Genetics Project 1.org. And contact us with your experiences, and we're looking for families to genotype and publish. Anything else?
Thank you, Max.
Yeah. I
Much.
almost forgot. Let's do galactic languages.
Yeah.
Nadalee, can you give us a blessing in a language, in light language?
Who, me?
Who are you
Yeah.
asking?
Yeah, Nadalee, do you speak light language?
Yes.
I sing a light language. I can bless
Yeah,
you
go
with
ahead.
a song.
Yeah.
Love it.
As long as my my microphone doesn't cut out on me.
All right. We'll let you know.
Okay. Masonaton manatona leanotosa mahea.
The translation is this: as you allow the energies to come to you with the understandings that there is so much more available. Your coming together is so important at this time. It is not just these small groups, but it is the masses.
That's right. Thank you.
I will do mine.
All right.
Alahayan nahan nahan nayana unaya anahana hanna unahan nahanna una alamahayan nahana hula na 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 haya haya na haya haya hana na 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 na.
Trust in yourself and the understanding that your hybridization program is truly a great understanding to the galaxy. For your hybridization program is there to help not only this planet, but also all planets within the universe move in the direction necessary for the evolution of all.
Perfect. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you,
Angie,
Max. Thank you,
your
everyone.
turn.
My turn. All right, one moment. Hondo ora shaso tukuri inni chere anka amba anduru jushata. Ementukuro sati. Ini impero ushujutiana ha konuritere ishi. We watch as all things are transferring to your planet. We watch and see as humanity is raising its understanding of that which is here for you. Continue to help move forward the population in understanding of what is really truly happening.
Thank you. With that, we close. You can find us on, actually, I will show both of them. Hucolo.org, xg1.org. Hucolo is for webinars and xg1 is for genotyping. With that, I think we close. Bye-bye,
Yes.
everybody.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for the watchers in YouTube, and thanks for people who are here. We have still Adriana, Margaret, another Margaret, and Margaret, Margarita, and Wendy. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Max.
stop
And
the-
thank you,
Good.
Natalie, for being here and bringing this
Oh,
information.
thank
Thank you for
you.
that.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Max. Bye.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right,
That
I'll
was
see you.
beautiful.